Welcome to Truth, Money, and Freedom. Today is Saturday, February 23rd, 2019. And we got a story here on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I just call her the Cortez woman. She says she could have been a teacher if it weren't for Trump. This is a USA Today story. Um, but it goes on, it's an interview here, and she basically says she would be teaching in high school right now. That's what she would like to have done. Um, but I'm going to suggest to you that things are a little different than you may think. As the economy gets worse, as things get worse in society and things deteriorate, that's what brings out the crazies to run in for elections, for the crazies to come out and actually become politicians here in the United States. This is the same kind of thing that happened in Venezuela when things got worse. Maduro gets into power. Um, and if you go back to, basically in 1930s, this is how Hitler came to power in the Weimar Republic because they were undergoing a hyperinflation. Crazy people seem to come out of the woodwork and run for office when things are bad in society. And this Ocasio-Cortez woman is basically an example of that. Now, I don't think that she is a particularly good congresswoman yet. She's very radical. She has some very radical ideas, and she is marinated in ideology, particularly the man-made global warming stuff, which I refute. I think volcanoes and the sun have more to do with the Earth's weather than man could ever hope to have. That's my opinion. However, I also dispute a lot of the science, quote unquote science, that is coming out and being taught to our children. And we'll do a later podcast on this because that's also been very heavily refuted. But it doesn't matter. If something is spoken with authority from quote unquote scientists that are backed by government funding, it tends to become the quote unquote truth. And then, therefore, it gets taught to school children. They get basically they get indoctrinated into an ideology that way. So she's no different. She is a product of that. She is actually a product of that very same problem. Um, I don't particularly care for this lady so far. I think she, like I said, she's very radical. She also is, I think, exemplary of the millennials. She acts like one, she talks like one, and I don't think she actually gives a whole lot of think to her speak, and that's a problem. It also makes someone more real. You get to find out who they are if they don't think before they speak. A critical thought is completely lost on this woman. I don't think she could have a critical thought. Um, it's my opinion. But is she 100% crazy? I don't know yet. I haven't had enough time, looking into the things she says and the things she wants to do to know if she's absolutely crazy. But I will tell you that she's an ideologue, and that makes her dangerous right then and there. If she truly believes that man-made global warming or man-made climate change, unless she is, of course, referring to chemtrails and HARP, which are man-made instruments of climate change, if she's referring to that, the government changing the climate, then she would probably be correct, but she should come out and actually say the government is doing it. We need to stop the government from doing these things. If she's referring to, basically cars and cow gas, then I think she's wrong. So, but she is very memeable. She is sought after for interviews because she is so outspoken. She's very personable, but she's also just a little bit crazy. So, a narcissist and a sociopath. I don't think she's a psychopath, but she is on our scale of personality traits of people in Congress. She is a narcissist, diabolical narcissist, and also a sociopath. But that's all I have to say about her right now. But I will link the story down below because if she were a school teacher, she would actually be, I believe, brainwashing kids with her basically ideals on global warming. I think that would be her primary goal as a school teacher, is to pass on the bad information from the actual bad science that makes up what we call the global warming crowd. So that's all I have to say on her for this story anyway. But I want to thank you for joining and spending a few minutes with us today. We do have a Discord server. I've mentioned this before in previous podcasts. It's linked down below, and if you're interested, please come and join us. Take care. Have a good day.